My best friend told me an unbelievable story about her husband, and knew I wouldn't believe it. I don't like who I am because of it. So we go from this very normal life to her suddenly at my door at 3 a.m. crying her eyes out. She was inconsolable, she couldn't talk at all. The only thing she could manage is to scream no at me when I went to call her husband. I thought she had been mugged or hurt on the street or something. I didn't know. Long story short, that night my boyfriend ended up carrying her to the guest room. The girl wasn't freaking moving, and I slept with her and held her all night. The next day she still freaked the heck out and we realized her car wasn't here. So that meant she freaking walked 4 miles in 30-degree weather to get to our house. But she can talk, and she tells me the most wild story I've ever heard. Her husband came home drunk, or she thought he was drunk, and started a fight over the kids thing again. He started to throw things and just scream at her about how he was ruining his life and legacy. Then he went into their room and said he was going to make things even. He started breaking stuff, her stuff, like her jewelry box, and tearing her clothes in the closet. And when she tried to stop him, he pushed her hard enough to knock her to the floor. Then he declared that he shouldn't have to make things even and that she should just be a good wife. Then he did what you think he did while she was on the floor. He left her crying and she said then he took her keys and phone and locked himself in the bathroom, screaming about how he would hurt himself if she ever left him. That didn't stop her. She still went to leave. They have this really heavy front door that you can hear pretty easily, so he must have heard her leave while he was in the bathroom. She said he freaking chased her down the street, half-dressed. He caught her once and hit her a few times but she got away and he stopped following. She made it to my house and she broke down. End of story. This was a very 0 to 100 moment. And I had known them as such a happy and loving couple. I didn't believe it. That was the gut instinct. It wasn't even coupled with oh she's a liar, but it was this automatic knee-jerk that this couldn't be true. He wouldn't do that. I hadn't even said anything when she was done but she could read it on my face. Or maybe she was just extra emotional, I don't know. But she started crying again, very, very hard, and kept saying, he said this would happen, he said this would happen. It took a while before she calmed down again and I told her over and over that I did believe her. I was just shocked. And she said he told her that no one would believe her. That he had been telling her that for years. Because he had been doing this crap for years and she had been protecting him for years because she thought he had a problem. And I again didn't believe her. Gut reaction. I just hit it better this time and at least managed to make her feel safe. Then she showed me the bruises. They were all on her thighs and stomach, places that you can't see. She told me that he did stuff like this at least 3 times a week, that he always used the excuse of alcohol issues for it, but according to her, she couldn't even smell it on him anymore. That night was the final straw. That's when that stupid gut reaction disappeared and I knew it was all true. But why did it take her showing me that to believe her? I have known her for nearly 10 years. She was there for me during my own divorce and she has always been such a beautiful and lovely person. Who also isn't vindictive. I knew all of this. But my instinct was to stand up for a man who I don't know nearly as well. Just because he was always